Inflation warning, harsh realities about to hammer Britain in worst recession since 70s. The UK is hurtling towards economic disaster, but the government continues to sugarcoat the severity of the issues, according to an expert economist. Patrick Reed, an economist and Cambridge University lecturer, has warned that the UK is currently on a trajectory for the worst recession since the 1970s, but the reality is being underplayed by the government. After assessing the wider economic data, Mr. Reed said he is very concerned about the coming difficult days ahead for the UK economy, and predicted inflation to hit 10% within 3 months, and to potentially rise to 15% within a year. He said the government must tell us the truth and be honest and clear about what this means for businesses and families. Mr. Reed told Express.co.uk, all markers indicate the UK will go into recession, most likely Q1 or Q2 next year. Without a significant deviation from the current trajectory, the 2023 recession will be the worst the UK has faced since the 1970s. He added, if you thought the price of oil was high when it reached $130 recently, we are likely to see it reaching $200 minus $260 in the next 6 months, unless we see a de-escalation from Putin. This is not just something impacting financial markets, and as this price rises further, so will the costs of the majority of your goods and services, as so much depends on moving items or people from place to place. It comes just after the Office of National Statistics released data that showed UK wages have declined in real terms by 1%. Speaking about the figures, Mr. Reed said, the Chancellor's response was far more positive in its analysis, highlighting a year of falling unemployment and a stronger jobs market bounce back than so many predicted. This is disingenuous, and another example of the government not being clear enough with the public about how difficult the next 2 years will be economically. Better financial education leads to better outcomes for individuals in society, and Rishi must now be completely honest and clear about the real state of our economy, and what it means for both business and families. During his spring statement, Chancellor Rishi Sunak said the UK should expect to see inflation to average around 7.4% this year. However, Mr. Reed argued, forget 7% inflation projections. Inflation is heading to 10% in the next 3 months, and could go well beyond this, potentially reaching as high as 15% in the next 12 to 18 months. The impact could take years to overcome. UK inflation is already rising at its fastest rate for 30 years, this is before the impacts of the Ukraine war are felt, which is likely to push inflation even higher in the coming months. Mr. Reed, who also teaches financial literacy to members of the public, said, the war may have increased volatility and petrol, but it hasn't affected CPI, Consumer Price Index. It hasn't affected the price of stuff, because that will be next month, and that's something the public need to know. I predict we will see a peak in autumn this year. He said the Chancellor's announcements of fuel duty cuts and raising the national insurance threshold is unlikely to really help households in any significant way. Speaking to Express.co.uk, he said, people don't have money when we're raising interest rates, and a lot of that is because of high energy prices, but the real problem I have is that Rishi Sunak sugarcoated, essentially highlighting a year of falling unemployment and a stronger jobs market. But that's not the truth really. Speaking about the disingenuous announcement, he said, we're at fault as well. We don't like bad news and the government like votes. He said the solution not to get spoofed by the government is for people to educate themselves about the impacts they will individually experience and look at the real figures. Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.